Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Two Dudes Snapping. We are going to be discussing the Datamines that just came out because, holy crap, there is a lot to go over. So we're going to get right into it. My name is Nick the Greek Geek. I am here with Joe. Joe has a hard out, so I want to get as much of this recorded as I can with him and get his thoughts on it. We're going to just start off with the season pass in February and March. February is a brave new world. It is the Dark Avengers, from what I understand. Right, Joe?
No, Dark Avengers is January.
Okay. Oh,
February,
right, yes.
February is the Captain America movie. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So we've got Brave New World coming out with the Captain America movie, which I think is going to be really, really interesting. You know, it's nice to see Cap back in. Hopefully they'll actually do something to make the card not suck. You know, that would be nice. I know there are a lot of people, including one of my friends, Perry Manilow, that is desperate to have a Cap that does not absolutely suck. So that
there is nice. A card that is going to work with the old Captain America, which I think a lot of people will be pretty excited about.
And I think we're going to be talking about that one coming up pretty soon here. And then March, we've got it confirmed to be the 1 million BC season. Moon Knight is going to be the super premium variant, which we'll get to that as well, I think, at the end. And Agamotto is going to be the season pass card. And anybody who's played Rivals, I am sure, has heard. By the eye of Agamotto. I'm looking forward to seeing that in the game, and I'm sure that is going to be a constant phrase said. It's a very common thing. I don't know if you experienced that in Rivals, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The eye of I. In fact, I own the Eye of Agamotto somewhere.
Oh, yeah, that's the cool little thing.
That's the necklace that they. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's Doctor Strange's necklace that he wears, the Eye of Agamotto. I was going through the Datamines earlier today, too, and I just went through the variants and stuff like that, but I didn't see May's, or rather, not May. I saw January's, of course, February's. I didn't see March's, though.
They didn't give too much information. Apparently, the only thing that was Datamined is that that's going to be the 1 million BC season, and that BC Agamotto Avengers, is going to be the season pass card. But I didn't see, looking through the variants, at least not from the time that I spent, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I didn't either.
There, so
that must be the series too. We're getting Khonshu. We're getting Khonshu, I think, for that too. The bird god from Moon Knight, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be fun.
I agree. Hold on, let me make sure that you get to see what properly needing. Realize that's not happening. There we go. That's better. That should be better, and I'll give you this link as well. So moving on from that, we'll go with something that's a little less exciting, but we'll go into the cardbacks, which
I love the one on the left. I love that they're using the movie poster. That's the kind of thing I want to see them do. Yeah. Pair up with something that they're doing in Marvel and exploit it for the game. I mean, that's just smart. And that's the movie poster. That's the hand, the Red Hulk hand holding Cap's shield. And yeah, I love that. I think that's tremendous and very, very, very smart marketing. And they should do that all next year. They have 3 films and a bunch of series coming out, and they should do it with every one of them.
Couldn't agree more. I think it's a simple way of advertising and tying into what's there and having it be more connected versus this. God, I don't even know. Like whatever they have now just isn't cutting it. It's not hitting it at the right times. And I know a lot of that is difficult because you've got to deal with the studios changing dates and changing information that they're giving you. But this is the kind of stuff that you can be a little bit assured. You know, Cap is coming out when the season is coming out, so might as well stick with it and actually do something, right?
I would have gone with the gold on the movie poster instead of that being just that's just me. But I would have gone. Yeah, I mean, I hit Infinite and I got that crappy Rivals back is terrible, dude. It's just I expected even this when I thought when I'd see it, at least it would look better with the gold. It's horrible. It's like one of the worst ones I think we've ever gotten, even back to like the days where they had the Marvel Snap logo on the cards.
No, it's really bad. But it feels like so this whole month feels a bit lazy with regards to the Rivals variants.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I'm kind of mid on them. I got pennies just because I don't want to have to wait until January to have a variant for her. And I was like, you know what? I'm not getting any of the other spotlights this month, so I might as well just go with one and have that one. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these I think are better card backs than we've had in a while. I do agree it would be nice, but then you've got the shield and you're having to, where are you going to put the gold on that one? So I can kind of
Yeah.
understand why you don't want to change
Yeah.
that to gold. You'd have all of the Americans raging if you put gold in the flag, or the ones that you didn't have raging, you probably wouldn't want to be happy about it. So
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think it works, but I wish they could have incorporated Cap along with it, because I think he is Marvel's moral compass.
Yeah, true.
But let's move on from that into some spotlight data mines. So we've got Victoria Hand, which we know is going to be coming out. We've got another Grandmaster variant, a Hawkeye variant. I'm assuming that's the studio name Salmon for Dinner, which I'm wondering, they must be West Coast based.
Yeah.
But I like all of these. I think Victoria is going to be a compelling card to use, tied in with Grandmaster and Hawkeye. The sad thing is it makes you kind of pine for the days of old Loki, because this would go really well with a lot of the old Loki style stuff. But
yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, Grandmaster, we just got a 700 gold variant, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Kate Bishop is a great card. It just is like the premier 2-drop right now.
Yep.
I think a lot of people are playing it at 2. She kind of took the place of Jeff. You don't see Jeff as much anymore. But yeah, I mean, if you don't already have Kate Bishop, that's a good spotlight to get. Grandmaster, I mean, he's played more than maybe what he was when he first came out, but still not. I mean, it's not a card I play much.
No.
It's getting more play with Gore decks, of course, now, because you get the unrevealed. This particular season this is the Dark Avenger season. The cards are interesting. The cards are pretty interesting. There's a lot of just different type cards here. Like the one we're going to get onto, the next one too, is Moonstone, which is a very, it almost seems like it's a good card for smaller cards. So you're going to see like synergistic cards coming up with that would probably synergize well with Zoo. So, and she's one of them. Yep.
What I think was really interesting with Victoria is the tie-in and how much she can benefit with something like Hawkeye, because her text is ongoing. Your cards that were created in your hand have +2 power. Yeah. So something like Hawkeye, outside of the acid arrow, which that just goes away when you send it over to the other side anyway, you Grandmaster her, that gives a lot of power to your hand. So if you get the Pym arrow and the basic arrow, and then you Grandmaster her the next turn, you can generate even more, and her stuff is ongoing. So you can play her at the end of the game and buff all of those arrows like crazy. And that's kind of cool.
You're going to see cards too, like Snowguard make a comeback. And you're also going to see maybe the return of a classic deck, the Collector and Devil Dino, you might see come back. Because all those Sentinels going back into your hand and everything every single turn, they're going to be big Sentinels. So yeah, you might see that come back a little bit. I see that sometimes when I play like players with low collection levels that are actually still playing that. In fact, I saw one on my. It's the funniest. I saw one on my way to Infinite, like literally in the high 90s. I saw one of those decks, and the player was sitting there. I looked at their collection level. They were like collection level 3000. I'm like, God bless. I won the game. I don't know if you ever get this way, but when you see that, it's like I almost kind of hope they beat me.
Yep.
I don't feel good beating people like that. But yeah, they're going to be interesting cards.
And I will be honest, I lose a lot to those players, more than I would ever like to admit. But hey, it just goes to show, just because you have all of the cards does not mean that you are going to be the best player out there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that surprises you too. Like you don't know a lot of times their advantage over you is you don't know what they're doing, because you're so used to seeing certain meta decks. And then when you see cards come out, you're like, I know what they're playing. And with those players, you're not used to. You'll see some like different kind of cards make it out, and then all of a sudden you see a Devil Dino, and you're thinking, now wait a minute, is this a bot? Because the only thing that plays this is a bot, and it's not a bot. And then you're like, next thing you know, you lose. Yep. So yeah,
well, because you're teching against these combo decks or these unique pieces, and they're just like, what if I just played big power on the board? And sometimes that's all that it needs.
Yeah.
But I think these cards are actually going to be really beneficial for those early CL players too. Like Moonstone, her text is ongoing. has the ongoing effects of your 1, 2, and 3 cost cards here. So you play her in a lane with Victoria Hand, you play her in a lane with, Cap, you play her in a lane with just any other low cost card that has an ongoing effect, and you've got a stew going.
Whoa. There's still plenty of meat on that bone. Now you take this home, throw it in a pot, add some broth, a potato. Baby, you got a stew going.
You've got some potential to make something really good. And I'm liking the fact that these are synergistic outside of Nocturne. Like Nocturne and Black Swan, neither of those provide an ongoing benefit, but they allow you to play down cards at next to no cost to be able to benefit from that. And I think there's something interesting to be had there. And I think it's going to be a good first and second week. And let's take a look at the next week outside of that. So we've got Bullseye coming out. I don't know if you know much about Bullseye.
He's the one that you could discard stuff to do negative points to the other cards. Yeah.
So he's an activate, discard all cards that cost 1 or less from your hand, afflict that many different enemy cards with -2 power. I get the feeling he is going to get changed because that could be nuts depending on what you've got in your hands. This is going to be crazy for discard. Like you play him in a discard deck and you get a swarm discarded a couple of times. Like that's insane.
Or if he just keeps hitting Scorn over and over again. I mean, I think, and I'm going to see if I'm right or wrong. I think there's going to be a nerf to discard, and I think it's going to come. I think we're getting it on the OTA. I think there'll be a nerf to that deck. I think what they're going to do is I think they're going to hit Scorn in one way or another. The deck is just too powerful, and it's too easy to, unless you're playing with a Red Guardian. Unless you're playing with a Red Guardian, you're going to lose because the Dracula's they always manage to find the curve. And with the Scorn in their deck, they can, and they get their cards pumped up even more. They get the MODOK off. They're just going to beat you. And you're not going to be able to go over top of them because they're going to have the Scorn, and then the Dracula is going to get the huge Apocalypse at the end of the game. The Morbius is going to go up that little bit more, and it's just a really, really good deck. So I think that's going to take a nerf. I don't know exactly what they're going to do to it, but I think it's going to probably be nerfed on the OTAs. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. And primarily also because of this card. Because this card is now they have it listed. I don't know if you saw, but it's listed under changed cards. So they might have actually changed it. I don't know what it was before, but it's listed. It's a 3/3.
Yes.
I have the one pulled up here. It says activate, discard all cards that cost 1 or less from your hand, afflict that many different enemy cards with -2 power. But then it's listed down below and it says changed cards, but I didn't see anything that was changed.
He was a 4/5 before. So they dropped him down from a 4/5 to a 3/3.
They changed the power. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll go over that. I've got the new cards coming as well at the end. So let's quickly go over. We've got Ares, who, pull that one back up. So Ares is an on reveal, compare the power of the top 3 cards of both decks. If your total is higher, +6 power. What I'm thinking with this card and having Kang in the spotlight, a part of me is wondering if Kang is going to allow you to look at the top cards of your opponent's deck, kind of like a Howard the Duck, but in reverse. I don't know.
Like they're going to change it, maybe. They should. Yeah, they should.
He is one of the worst cards in Snap. I mean, tier level. I think he is. Let's see if I can find his stats on here. Or no, I'm trying to find his info. Let me look up Kang really quickly, but it's not great. There've been a couple decks that have been running Kang, but they're not good decks for the most part.
The only one I ever saw do anything successfully was Alex Coach's High Evo deck that he used, and that was a gimmick. He was using it because he wanted to just make sure somebody wasn't going to turn off his limbo.
Yeah.
So that was,
and in that respect, that's the deck that it's kind of in. It's in the Pixie Infinite She-Hulk Magic Hope Summers deck, just to see, okay, what's going on? Can I get an extra draw?
Yep.
It's not a great deck. Like right now, its popularity is 0.2%. its win rate is only 51%. It's not good for Kang. So I'm really hoping they make some modifications to him, because right now it is not a good card. And something like Ares, there's not a synergistic element, and Second Dinner is known for putting out cards that have no synergistic element or don't have a synergistic element for months, and then they change a card and then it does. But with this one, I don't know. I'm interested in seeing what they do, because they're pairing it with Misery, her other weird. I'm not a fan of the Kreese variant for her, but maybe there is something there. We'll have to see. We've got a month for that one to come out, so we will see what that does. But
it'll be interesting. Ares is interesting. I mean, they're actually making some cards that might work well with RSM decks, and I mean, Ares definitely can. If you have, a lot of times you might have really big cards in there, depending on what your random cards and stuff are and everything. So looks like it should be an interesting card.
Agreed. And we get to move on now and go even further into the February season, where we've got some of the new cards. We've got Joaquin Torres ongoing. The on-reveal abilities of your one-cost cards here happen twice. I don't know how powerful that is, considering a lot of the one-cost cards that I'm trying to think of that would be, much other than, Nico's kind of the primary one-cost. But what other one costs that are on reveals? That
Silver Stable?
Yeah.
In the negative, you will notice there are a good amount of cards that are going to be in Toxic decks from these sets.
Oh yeah.
So Toxic's probably going to come back in a big way. If it's not already gone now, and I've seen it being played lately too. So, but Toxic's going to make a big comeback, and so I mean, if you get that, because that's why they nerfed her in the first place, was because Bounce was bouncing her, and every single time she's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, he would work well with that. Otherwise, I mean, there's not a ton of one on reveals.
Well, let's see.
At least that I can think of it.
For on reveals, we've got the Hood, which could be good to have there.
Yeah, and Bounce. He might be a bounce card.
Yeah.
He might be a bounce card. Yeah.
A good card to leave in that bounce lane and bounce him back up with, or bounce them back up with Falcon, and then, hit them with something else. But I think Silver Sable, Hawkeye could be really good. Iceman could be really good.
Yeah.
You've got Korg. You've got Blade if you're Blade if you're doing discard. Yondu if you're trying to mill them.
Yep.
Zabu. But some of these cards are cards you need to have out before he comes out, or he's worthless. Like Yondu, you want to try getting out as early as possible. But cards like Korg and Nico coming out on 4, you toss a Korg into that lane, and then goodness, what's her name? The hands and the fingers in the brain girl.
Oh, Cassandra Nova.
There we go. You toss Korg down, and then you toss Cassandra Nova in. That's an additional 2 power on her if you can't get her down on 4. Could be good for move with an Iron Fist. You bounce them back up. You play him down with Iron Fist and Torch, and Torch moves twice. That's pretty good. So I think it's a more complicated card than some of the more simple ones, but I'm on board. And again, it's another one of those ones where I don't necessarily see the synergy with Makari, and I don't know how I feel about that Makari variant.
The more though might, because a lot of people would like to put big one costs in a lane. So I could see Nomura maybe a little bit, but Makari, I don't understand that. Makari really is a funny card. It only that card, the only time I ever see that played much is in Surfer.
Yep. That's all. Either Surfer or the Dracula dump style decks. Because you don't have to pay anything and it gets out of your hand. It's never going to stick in your hand.
Yep.
But outside of that, she's not really high up on any of the. But I mean, and then you've got Nomura, who is another card that's not really used right now. It's tough to play something like her because you're limiting yourself to almost that Shuri style deck where you have to leave a single card in the lane without anything else added to it. And she's an expensive card, so you can't play her unless you're doing ramp. You can't play her until at least turn 5, earliest turn 4. And then that means you have to have those cards ramped out there as is. And she's a powerful card, but
Safety loves her.
Yes.
Safety Blade loves her. And I'll tell you, I mean, you do have a lot of these cards now, like Agony, like the Armor. Now you have Penny, that are going to be able to keep one card in a lane and can get pretty big. Like if you put, you put Agony on turn 1, you play Penny on turn 2, you play the Spider on turn 3, and then you have, Scarlet Spider, you have the Symbiote. So you have some cards that are going to just be able to get, and that's not counting Hulkbuster either, you could play with too. So you can get some of these cards pretty darn big. And then imagine you play Namora with a card like that. And now, if it's Penny, now you have a card that can move. So not only can you hit it with Namora, but she can move around the board. So yeah, Namora is an interesting card. I don't play with it a ton, but I know there's people who really enjoy it.
Yes.
But it is a challenge. It is a challenge, and you do have to get a lot of things to go right.
Yep.
Because if the opponent puts something in your lane or something like that, you're screwed. So.
But it's going to be interesting to see what comes of it. I don't know if there's much synergy there, but the next week, actually, I'm really interested in this one. Have you looked up what Thaddeus Ross does?
He's really good with Red Hulk, his alter ego, which is, I like that. I kind of like when they do that. They should do that more often.
I agree. And his text says, when your opponent ends a turn with unspent energy, draw a card with 10 or more power. Like Surtur, Big Tens, the big dumb idiot style decks are going to be back like nobody's business. Like he's going to be really, really powerful because that is.
Mention the Hulk is gaining too because of he's gaining energy if they're not spending energy, so he's going to be big. So yeah, he's great for you're right. He's great for the big card decks. Yeah, absolutely.
So then the last one that we have from the Datamines is the mid-February and the end of February seasons. Red Wing, the text is, on reveal, return one of your other 1-cost cards here to your hand to give it +2 power. Boy, that sure sounds like it would work really well with something like Joaquin Torres or Bullseye or, any number of cards that have come out there. I really like the Baron Zemo variant. Like this one, I think I might have to try for, even though I don't.
Oh, that goofy cartoon style one. Yeah.
That looks really good. That's like a Mickey Mouse style. He's even got the Mickey Mouse gloves on.
Yeah, he does.
But it's again, looking at the pairings, I like to try and think, okay, so how do these tie in together? You've got Loki in there as well, but I don't know how any of those tie into that. Maybe there's just something that I'm missing.
Arishem, I mean, Loki goes in Arishem decks, and a lot of them are going to have free ones that are going to get played out. So, yeah, that's why I said, for as much as people complain about Arishem, and now, I was listening to KM Best and Binks did a show, and I was listening to them talk about that, and I'm kind of convinced now that they're not probably going to touch Arishem just from their conversation. I don't think they are, because they, especially when you see them making cards like this that are going to work really well in the deck type. Yeah, they make a good sound reasoning for it too. That they were saying how players just like it because they get to see cards that they never see. Yeah, a lot of entry-level players play it and stuff like that. And sometimes we get caught up in this stuff where we think that the game is centered around players like us that are hitting infinite and stuff like that. And you know what? It's really not. And it really can't be, because that's where your mistakes are made. And so I kind of have a funny feeling. I was saying for sure. I remember on our last show, I was saying, Arshem's getting nerfed. It probably isn't. It probably isn't.
I can see them adding more cards potentially. I think that would probably be the fairest fix at this point.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe we'll see. But yeah, I mean, an Arishem deck is gonna welcome that the extra, the 1-cost stuff and everything. Does Red Wing play? I'm looking at this. Return one of your 1-cost cards to your hand. Give it. That works with bounce though too.
It does. Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a really good bounce
also works
card.
with bounce. Yeah.
And the fact that
bounce is
it
just
doesn't
better.
return itself. And again, it's another one of those cards that you can utilize with something like Grandmaster.
Yep.
You've got ways to move it. I think to ways to really use it. And I think bounce is probably going to be the biggest place for this. And I think we're going to be seeing a massive resurgence of bounce and probably some nerfs done to some of those bounce cards to put them more in line with not being an incredible like power burst. It doesn't hurt to have a strong archetype, but it can't be too dominant because we've seen what happens when that comes up. And Second Dinner doesn't tend to like that.
They could be combining it with Zemo too, because thinking of Mill, because you can kind of technically use it with Mill too, because there's you have Yondu you could bring back and things like that. So yeah, they could be looking at it from that aspect. But yeah, you can see like there's a lot of synergy now. Yeah. The next one though, to me, that makes no sense.
Diamondback?
The next one does the Diamondback, Nimrod, and Phoenix Force makes no sense to me.
That makes the least sensical. I've seen some weird spotlight caches, but yeah, the effect, the ongoing enemy cards here afflicted with negative power have an additional -2 power paired with a destroy card and another destroy card, and I'm just kind of like,
Diamondback should have been in there with Ajax. Could have had a really appropriate way to put Ajax back into a spotlight cache. He would have been perfect for this because that's what they're going to play that with. That's a toxic card. You're going to play that with a toxic deck. So yeah, Nimrod and Phoenix Force makes zero sense. You would never play this card in a Phoenix Force deck ever. It makes no sense to play it. So,
what I'm hoping is this being 2 months out, that this is just a placeholder and they're going to find a better fit for this.
Yeah.
I want to think that is the case. I really, really do.
The Nimrod's amazing, man. That's a really cool Nimrod. Yeah.
I 100% agree. It is very, very cool. I really, really like it.
Yeah.
But the Phoenix Force, it's always tough with the Phoenix Force variant because I'm just like, well, it's Phoenix Force. I'm never going to see it.
They all look the same, man. They're all just a flaming bird. There's not too much you could do with that.
Well, and they're like with Hulkbuster, they're there for a second and then poof, it's gone. At least with Nimrod is there and doesn't go anywhere. Nimrod stays on the board, but I don't know. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks of spotlights for the January and the February season. But let's move on to something I'm sure you are excited about, the new Datamined Effects. I don't know. How do you feel about this?
I didn't even see these. What is that, a circuit board? That's cool, actually.
Well, we've got Wakanda Purple on the left and Wakanda Gold on the right, which I don't know.
It's kind of like a tech look. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? The purple one would be good on a Mysterio, I think.
It would.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay. I didn't even see these. Okay. Nice.
So it's looking like, I'm taking a look really quickly because there's another thing that they had set up that I didn't notice.
Iron Man would look good with one of these as well. The gold one on an Iron Man one would be cool. I'm trying to think of like technical based characters that you would want to. That's what I try to do with the borders. I try to use them for specific characters, and like when I see something, that obviously the web based ones were good on all the spider characters. So I just trying to think of like what are some cards that are like have tech to them a little bit. Bishop might be a cool one for the tech borders, but that's cool. Listen, it's fine. Vary it up, put more of these out. We've seen all the borders we're going to see and stuff like that. So put more of them out. They value these things a lot.
They really do.
They really, really do, which is the reason why our thing went up to $20 a month now for the new season pass. But it's cool. It's kind of neat.
What I took a look at while we were talking is these are for ultimate character mastery. So basically these are for the super duper super whales.
That means I'll have one of these for my Galactus then. Yes.
There you go. You will. If you've got
I have every one of his variants. Yes. Yep.
There you go.
Split several times.
I think that is a good idea. And I think that's gonna work out well for you. I'm interested in seeing how they're going to implement it, and I've got some of the information coming up next on the mastery.
Nice.
What I noticed, I was looking through because they've got the visual card effects.
Okay.
Some of the hold on, we'll go to the first one here. So some of them are for super rare character mastery. There's ones that are associated with Deadpool's Diner as well. There is
Okay.
2 different kinds that you can get from Deadpool's Diner. But yeah, I what I'll do is I'll include a link down below where you guys can take a look through and see the different character mastery and different card reveal effects. They've got all of them listed. The ones that aren't released yet and aren't in the game, they don't have anything yet, but I'm assuming they will. With this being data mined, I'm presuming that's going to get updated in the next little bit so that you'll be able to actually see what they look like on the cards. But yeah, I'm looking here. I haven't even seen a lot of these, but yeah, they've got the different flares for the different character masteries. I think that's where a lot of people are going to be able to get them, is in their character mastery.
I think that might be coming sooner than later as well. Because they alluded to that in the patch notes today.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was going to be in this patch, but looking at this, it looks like they're still working on it. So these are the details on the character mastery. So it's got the XP requirements for the different levels and the experience per variant. So obviously the ultimates being the highest at 250 experience points. So basically, if you have an ultimate variant, that automatically bumps you to the 12th level of character mastery. But the experience per split as well, like I'm thinking my Shang-Chi, that I am going to hit like number 1 because I have 30 some odd splits on that son of a gun. That's a lot. And I've got multiple super rares. I don't think he's had any spotlight variants. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Like, what do you do for cards that have never had a spotlight variant?
Yeah, it's a good
question. How
does
that mastery work for them? I don't know.
Well, look, it's a money grab. It's a money grab, man. Yep, they will. They'll end up putting out more ultimates now because they're gonna know that you're gonna want to get them for this. Completionists and whales have to have it. So you know that they're gonna want to do that. So it's I think this is exciting. I was excited about this when I first heard it. And it's just, look, it's another way. I know the naysayers out there that are all negative about everything are all going to, it's just more money. It's more money. Well, of course it is. And I don't mind. Look, the season pass thing, I'm not thrilled about because I'm going to pay an extra $5 a month. I used to get the premium +1. Yeah. I don't know that I want to spend 20. And all it really is borders. And I don't think I care enough about that. But like for this, this is something that's going to reward people that have already invested in a single character or 2 or 3 or 4. And yeah, I mean, this is I think kind of neat. And I'm looking forward to this. I hope it is coming up for the end of the year. I know that they said that as a stretch goal, but they said it could also be in early January. So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm intrigued. What I do like is at least they're including an exclusive super rare variant in with the pass. So that being 1,200 gold, and you are able to choose between whether you want that or not. So it looks like that is going to be launching with next month's Dark Avengers season. As well.
Did you see they stopped it at 100 too on the caches?
Yeah, I noticed that the other day. Somebody mentioned that to me, and I was just like, damn. They lost a lot of people. I know there were some massive grinders that spent a ton of time and money in this game that have left because that limitation. They like to be able to grind, and they like to be able to just put their time into a game that they would get something back at no cost to them. Yeah, those are also people that are, they're really pushing the game to a different level. They are the ones that are always there and that you always match up to. And there is some benefit to that, but I don't know. We will have to see. So,
Yep.
I'll probably buy it because I'm stupid and I like getting the 10 levels right away. But if I get to a point where I'm hitting over 100 ever, that's probably the last time that I'll do it. And I'm just going to be done outside of that.
Yeah.
So I'm good. But
let's
move off to the variants because holy crap, there's a ton. Like we are talking, I have
there's a lot.
11 of these. So the ones that I'm most excited about, like the dating profile, those are pretty damn cool. I'm
really, the She-Hulk one. I saw that. Yeah, that's
There's
neat.
the Coulson one that I've got up on screen right now too. That is great. It's got Agent Coulson 49 with the black redacted bar over his eyes.
Yeah.
That one I will probably snag because just so good. Like it's really, really good. I'm going to look through some of the ones that stand out. There's some that are bundle oriented. Sadly, the Agent Coulson one is a bundle. We don't know a ton about the other ones, like the Annihilus. Everything else here is either a bundle or there's one 700 gold. Like that first Agent 13 is a 700 gold. Outside of that, everything else is either a bundle, unknown, or, oh, I lie. The Erisham is a 700 gold. But
like today's album that came out with all the Rivals cards in it for 1,200 gold apiece. Yeah, that's another thing that they got to stop doing. I make one. I look. I don't care because again, cosmetics to me don't really bother me that much. You could just not get them, and that's what I do. I just choose not to buy them all. I'm not wasting all my gold on one album. I'm just not going to do that. So, but at least put one or two, at least 700 gold in those albums. Don't make them every one of them 1,200. That's too much. And it's, when you do get to a point, I'm still upset about the Peach Momoko Thanos because I wanted that really badly, and it was stuck behind that album that had all 1,200 gold variants. So that should change, I think. At least in good faith, what I would say is do three. Put three 700 in, and then at least people can get up to the first rung of the ladder, and whatever prize is on there, they can get that at least. But yeah, the 12, I get it. Cosmetics are whales. That's just what it is. If you want to be a whale and collect a whole bunch of stuff and have all the card backs and stuff like that, you're going to pay for it. It's just how it goes. So,
but it's not going to be enjoyed. Like that's the thing is you don't want it to feel bad. And that's the problem is it feels bad. And it shouldn't. It absolutely shouldn't feel bad.
And I'll be honest, I don't think the rival ones are worth 1,200.
No. Absolutely not. No,
they're not. They're not very cool looking. And you disappeared. What happened?
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I was just fixing something really quick.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say the screen disappeared.
The screen did disappear. My apologies.
That's okay. It's all good.
There. I was just trying to fix. That's what I need. Your camera was in the wrong place. No, I got.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I was just going to say that they're not worth it. All it is just it's basically a logo of what a picture is of a card on the logo for Rivals. They're not worth 1,200. That should have been a 700 gold bundle.
I agree, and I think the problem is Rivals is so popular right now that it's enough that they're like they can slap the 1,200 on there and be done with it. I'm just like, I guess technically you're correct, but that doesn't mean it feels good for the people involved that are trying to engage with this stuff. And it's defeating. Like, I don't even look at the 1,200 gold because I'm done spending anything like that on most of these cards. And I just look at it and I go, okay, well, I'm just never going to have that. The Trippy Surfer, I bought the Sebastian Shaw and left it at that. And it's just like, okay, done.
I would have went another direction. See, I would have thought, okay, Rivals is a different style game. Yes, there's going to be Marvel Snap players doing it and creators doing it, but you are also going to have a whole group of people who probably don't play this game. They probably don't play Snap. And so to attract them in, you say, ooh, look at this. Now you're playing this new game. Come over to us and you can get all of these cards of these guys that you're playing in this game on our game now for relatively cheap. So you can get all of these variances. I would have attacked it from a little bit of a different way, but it is what it is.
Yeah, they made the decision and they're having to make do with it. So,
yep.
Looking at this, there's actually a few 700 golds. Believe it or not, that Black Cat is a 700 gold. And the Blob. And everything else is either super rare or an unknown at this point. Or is a Spotlight, which is fine. Like there's nothing here that screams out to me. The Black Widow is fine.
That's actually MCU Black Widow, I think.
It's
that's Scarlett Johansson. Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, they don't look great. Cannonball, does Cannonball pose the same way every single time? Because literally they're the same poses we get for him in every single card.
Yeah, there's one arm doing something. There's one arm punching. And that Spotlight Cash, no offense to the artist, but you know the one that I'm talking about. It came out in August. Yeah. That was not a Spotlight Cash variant. No.
Yeah, Blink's cool because we could use more of her. She is very light on variants.
She is.
And then
I think it's a pretty cool one, but it's a Spotlight Cash one. So unless you have it and are going for that, you're limited as to what you can get. I do like the Rian Rian Chibi. that they've got here. The Rian Gonzalez.
Yeah, I just got the Galacta Rian Gonzalez chibi, man. That's awesome. I love it. She actually liked the post. I was pretty thrilled by that.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's cool. I'm not that big of a fan of chibis. I like certain ones.
Yep.
But the Cobra one looks cool.
Yeah. I like the Cobra one. I think it looks pretty cool. It's better than the I don't know how I feel about the one to the right. That one just, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's unsettling
weird.
to the eyes. I think I'll pass.
Yeah, it is. It's like he's got. I mean, he kind of looks a little like Diamondback from like the Luke Cage series on Netflix, because he had like a big costume on like that with like a. Yeah, it's very weird looking. You're right. And the shield, like, okay, like a shield variant of a shield. I don't know how much you're gonna see.
Well, I don't even know if that's necessarily a variant.
That might just be the shield card. Yeah. I mean, you could make variants of that. That would be cool to see. Like, I would love to see the cracked one from Infinity area or Endgame, like when Thanos cracked it. And then there's other shields you could do. Like Sam has a little bit of a different style shield. You could do the Hydra cap shield too, the green one.
So I figured it out. I went to look into there. So Sam Wilson, Captain America, game start, add Cap shield to a random location, ongoing, you can move Cap shield. So that is,
you can just keep moving the shield. Yeah.
So that is the association with that specific card. So it is a variant. It's listed in there. It's a new card, but it's just part of Sam Wilson. So
we get Captain America in a move deck now. That'd be fun.
I know, right? I'm like, who knows? All right, let's take a look at the next set. This copycat is pretty good. I don't love that she's so expensive, but of course she is. Lemon Art is becoming one of my favorite artists. Like the quality of the art here, and I think it's going to look really good in game. It's that fashion series again. And
that's the one with the Snap, the fashion magazines. Yeah, there's a whole album of those coming, and I'm guessing they're all going to be 1,200.
They're all 1,200 gold, of course.
Yeah, I saw that. The Corvus looks almost exactly like the other Corvuses that we have,
and that's in the super duper expensive bundle. That's the one coming up that in February. That's I think $100 US, and it's just like, all right, then I guess.
The only one that really stands out to me in here that I like a lot is the Doom. I like the Doom sitting in the throne. Doctor Strange, I have so many cool variants, and there's the comic book variant coming out soon, and I never use the card, ever. I don't play Move. So I never use it. And I mean, Dakin, that card's not used at all. Darkhawk, there's so much better variants for him.
And that's the album reward from the Faro album. And I'm like, I can pass on that. I've got the Darkhawk that I want.
Yeah. Dazzler too has so many cool variants already.
Oh, that's a Conquest Shop one. It was showing up as the ultimate variant on another one. That's fine. It's a Sweeney Boo Conquest. I'm okay with that. Let that one be only okay. That Rian Gonzalez Diamondback, though, that I'm 100% going for. I don't need a Spotlight. I want that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that is really cool. I agree.
The Spotlight
There's a
Cash
lot
one
for her too.
The Spotlight Cash one is pretty good too, but I like the Rian. I think that's probably one of Rian's. That style, like that, the silk, those are the ones that really draw me to stuff. And
it's like anime kind of stuff. Yeah. It's good to see some of these artists are coming back to the fold a little bit. Like Dan Hip, we just got two new Dan Hips, and I did see that there's more coming with these, and so it's kind of cool to see like some of the OGs that did cards from the very beginning are starting to come back a little bit again. I know they have other projects they do. Rian's doing comics and stuff like that, so they're all into other things. But it's nice to see that you're getting some of the OG artists back and things like that. So it's cool.
Great. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but that Doctor Doom is his ultimate variant. So there you go.
Figures.
You got to invest
Figures.
So many tokens. And if tokens were just easier to get, it would be an easy recommend to go for the ultimates. But as it is now, I don't know. I don't think I can buy any more ultimates. Just with how expensive they are. Oof.
It's cool though, that's going to be fitting for the upcoming movie because he's sitting in a throne and they're doing God Emperor Doom for Secret War. So it's of course we have White Doom, don't we?
We do. Yep, we've got the God
that's
Emperor
right.
Doom
so we have the Secret War Doom.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I don't know. I think I would spend the 1,200 gold for that one.
Yeah,
over spending the 5,000 tokens.
I agree. Yep, it's a lot.
Now, moving on, we've got another album variant. So the Elsa is going to be the album reward for the Lemon Art Snap album. Again, another crazy expensive album that's all new, all 1200 gold.
All 1200. Yep. I love the goose.
Yes. Yep.
Super cute goose.
The goose is adorable. That's in the Moon Colony bundle that's coming up as well. I like the Ghost Spider, but it's another bundle. Grandmaster will get for free.
Grandmaster is the one from the MCU. That's Dan Hipp, right?
Yep.
He's the MCU one. I love that. I love when they do the MCU one. That's what's his face, the actor from Jurassic Park. I forget his name.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yep, that's our Jeff Goldblum. And it's cool. It's better than the Collector, which looks exactly the same. If you look at the Collector from Dan Hipp, it's the same design. Just I don't know. It's fine. The Hawkeye is a rare, which is nice. I'll take.
That's cool though. Yeah, with Hawkeye in the background, with the other Hawkeye in the background. Yeah, I like that one. I like the art. Yeah.
The Hulk that's here is also a rare. So hey, we're getting a few more rares.
There you go. You're getting some 700s. Okay.
Now Iron Lad, Iron Man are both super rare. I think
the Iron Man might be MCU Iron Man too. So they're starting to come out with a lot of MCU ones. Yeah. Yep.
But the Iron Heart doesn't have a price on it. Neither does the Iron Fist. But I'm going to guess the Iron Fist is going to be similar to the Falcon. I think that might be part of the season pass. Maybe. I don't know. It's the same style, but
I wonder if Ironheart's going to get her own set for the Ironheart TV show that comes out next year. Because you can have variants for her. You can have variants for the Hood because the Hood is in it too. So you can, they can mess around with that a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I don't have many variants for Ironheart. I think I literally have 3. I have the base card and I have 2 others. There's just certain cards I just never got much for. Jessica Jones is another one. I literally have 1 variant for her. So yeah, there's some cards that they need to make some more.
I agree, and I would really like to see some more 700 gold ones.
Yeah.
What I just realized is Joaquin Torres is the Falcon. So he's
the new Falcon. Yep.
The new Falcon. So I'm assuming he's going to be introduced in the new Cat movie.
Yeah, he's in the movie.
I haven't looked a ton of information about it.
They have your first shot of him. They showed the first picture of him running with Falcon at some point, and he is wearing that green. It's like green military outfit, basically, and then the wings and stuff. So yeah,
on board with that. Those are either going to be spotlight caches or the Chibi is a Rion that's 1200. The He Tianyu looks like he's the spotlight artist. I know.
Oh God, that lockjaw's so cute. I have to have that. I need to get that. I never play it. But yeah, that's a really cool bundle.
It's in the Cosmic Cuties bundle.
Of course it is.
Of course, yeah, they're going to make you pay for that.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Thankfully, it's not at this point, it's not a crazy expensive bundle. So maybe we'll go into that afterwards, but it's a decent value unless they change it. Hopefully if they change it, it'll be changed positive. But
shirtless Loki.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting Loki choice. That's his spotlight one.
Yeah, shirtless Loki. Juggernaut, you can't even see his face.
No.
That's a weird looking Juggernaut.
What I do like though is if you see up at the top, those are Wolverine's claws heading straight.
They are, yeah.
And that's a Flaviano. So I may have to start.
That looks.
I
like Flaviano's art. Yeah.
Ditto. No, I can mess with that one. The Kitty Pryde, I'm still not a fan of most Pandart stuff.
Pandart is they have some cool things, but some just I agree.
The Null is interesting because it's listed as another promo card, and we still haven't seen some of the promo cards that have already been technically released. Like you remember we did the Alligator President Loki. That one still hasn't come out and shown up anywhere yet. So we don't know if that one will be out there or not. Who knows? So it's listed. Where and when it'll show up, we do not know.
Yeah.
I do like that Null though, because that's the play on the Venom one where he's in the ring with Spider-Man. So it's kind of
wrestling title belt. Yeah. That's probably his. That could be. They call them luchador cards.
Yes.
I think. So that could be the Null luchador card, maybe because he has the title belt. Yeah, that's cool. He's like ripping the title away from Venom.
I really like that Marvel Boy. I think the Marvel Boy, all of the Snap fashion magazine ones
Yeah,
I
they're
really,
cool.
really like.
Mhm.
They're pretty darn good. And
Yeah, they
Lemonard
are.
did a really good job with that.
Mockingbird's neat too.
Yep, a Moon Girl is fine. I've got enough Moon Girl bundles. I don't need that. The Moon Knight one, again, sure. I don't really care one way or another. I do like the Moonstone variant. That's an artist that I don't know if we've seen in the game. It's Marcello Vignali. He's got a Scarlet Spider variant coming up in January. That's a 700 gold one.
Nice.
So that'll be nice. And then let's move on to the next one, because I've already started going through the next ones because you didn't see the Moonstone, the Moon Girl, or the Moon Knight.
I knew what you were talking about,
Yep.
but yeah, that's fine.
But that's a lot of Ms. Marvel variants coming.
3 Ms. Marvel variants coming.
Yep.
Yeah, geez. Okay.
One's a promo. One's a 1200 gold Victor Faro. Another is a 700 gold rare. So, hey, again, more rare cards. That's fine with me.
These are some we've already seen too in the spotlights.
Yep.
The Nimrod one is there with the face.
The Proxima Midnight still doesn't have any art assigned to it, similar
picture,
to the Hit Monkey. For our episode, I have the information on the spotlights, and the Hit Monkey one just comes up as blank. So I don't know if they're planning on changing that or what. But same as with the Proxima here. Like, we don't know what she looks like. The Ravona is fine, but I don't know. Nothing that I'm gonna run after to grab. If I get it for free, sure. If I don't,
yeah, I agree.
And then we're almost done. We've only got one more after this. I really like this Red Guardian. I think it's fun. I think it suits the character from what we remember of the Black Widow movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on again. We'll get it for free, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Red Hulk is a bundle. The Red Wings are either Spotlight or super rare. No regular rare ones. I like that Rock Slide. That Rock Slide is pretty cool.
Rock Slide, is that a Rion Red
That's
Wing?
Victor Faro.
Victor Faro. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
There's
Rion
no information.
Has the Captain America though. Yeah,
yes.
Down at the bottom.
I like that one too. Like that, if you're gonna do a chibi, at least have a silly little chibi like that. Yeah. I'm on board with that.
Yep.
And the Ross Red Hulk, I'm assuming that's an Alex Ross variant that they just didn't get the full information on the Datamines.
Yep.
I don't know. I think that one's pretty cool. But I've got the Spotlight one, the cartoony Spotlight one that I really like, and I'm good with that.
Yep.
The Sage is good. I think it's probably one of the better Sages. If you don't already have a good Sage variant, I think this is one to definitely go after. I think she's a great card, and I think it's a great variant for her. And then you've just got the season pass. The far right, Sam Wilson Captain America is the season pass card, and then the middle one is just your standard base card.
Yep.
So, and then last but not least, we've got a Scorn that we have no idea what it looks like. The Scorpion, that's it's fine.
They haven't done a good Scorpion yet. Like I want the classic one. They do have one where he's catching a fish. That's the classic Scorpion. He always had that. He had just a green costume and he had his eyes cut out. The costume. That's how you know what the classic one is. And they really haven't done a good one yet. They need to do I wish an artist would go back and do like a 60s/70s set. Where they would do their own versions of artwork from those 60s and 70s comics. I think that would be awesome.
I agree. I would be on board with that, even at 1,200 gold each.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. So, She-Hulk stating card,
which is a bundle as well, because of course it is a bundle.
Yep.
And there's no details. Yeah, Speed is good. Like I said, I think all the Snap Fashion ones are really good. I do like the Star-Lord's good too. The Strong Guy is a rare, so I would definitely run this one if I get that one, because I've got a couple of his, but I think this one seems like the most fun.
KM Best to just superimpose his face like right on top of that card. He'd have a nice logo for himself. Yeah,
either him or Gregor, one of the two.
Right. Yeah.
And then you've got
General
Thaddeus.
Ross.
That's his Spotlight variant. But at least he's coming out with a super rare, even if it's a super rare. At least he has a variant that if you don't want to go for that Spotlight cash, you can get a variant for him still.
Yep. And a chibi.
Yep. The U.S. Agent is a bundle one, which is like, come on. He doesn't have any other variants released in the store. He's only got either Spotlights or friggin' now a bundle variant. That
they might be saving him for the Thunderbolts movie. I bet.
Maybe.
I bet you, because he's going to be in, of course, he's in that movie. So they might be saving variants from him for that.
You might be right. Maybe something will come up next. The Viper, I think that's part of the super premium season pass. If what I was reading is correct.
Also, that's the exclusive variant that you get. Okay.
Yeah. And the Wong, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that one. Same with the
X23.
It's
very plain. Yeah, it's very plain. And X23, we have just so many right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
What I want to do, there's actually a couple more that weren't included. One of them is the Abomination. That's the super season pass. But these actually have guaranteed release dates. So that's got the gore. That's got the comic book Iron Man, which I think is pretty good.
Oh, the Iron Man cover. That's the old Shellhead cover. I'm going to have to get that one for sure.
I think a lot of people are going to have to get that one.
That's really cool. Yeah, I may have owned that at one time. Okay. Yep.
The Bullseye I'm going to have to get. That's a David Mack. Like that goes without saying that just has to be mine. Like there's no question at all about it. Yeah. The Jane Foster.
God, another Jane Foster. Come on, dude.
And a pixel one nonetheless. Not just a Jane Foster, but a pixel one.
I literally thought pixels were done. I haven't seen pixels in forever coming out. So I'm shocked they didn't do that one yet.
I know. Apparently they didn't. And we get a new pixel and we get to get it for free. Everything else here, Supergiant's only a rare, which is cool. Max Grek.
Okay.
I'm on board with that. We know the gore is going to be a rare. I think that's probably one of the better gores. That Broodling, it's a bundle. Of course.
Yeah,
and the Abomination is also part of, I believe, the January season. Yeah, we don't have a release date on the Viper, so that might be coming in March. But the Abomination is that super season pass.
Okay.
Exclusive.
Nice. Cool.
And then we've got the albums, which are just disappointing. Like, the credit ratios are bad on them. The rewards that you get are bad on them. Like you're getting almost nothing for spending that much gold, which maybe that's not a bad thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's good that you're not getting a ton from these albums to where you don't have to go hard on trying to get everything. Like, I don't care about the Darkhawk emote, although it would be kind of funny. The 3x value Darkhawk emote I could get behind.
Yeah.
But like I've got the Frigga, I've got the Malekith, I've got the Gore, I've got the Surtur out of the ones that are there. So 2 more and I get 2,000 collector's tokens. I can live with that. I think that's reasonable. I could probably go with the Rock Slide or the Iron Man. But the fashion is my passion. There is only 8 of them. But that's 9,600 gold worth of variants.
Yeah, that's a lot. What's the card that you get from that?
You get the Elsa card.
Oh, it's Elsa Bloodstone. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And my dumb self already purchased the Ultimate, so I don't think I'm going to be trying for that one.
All right, sir.
Do you have to? If you have to run, we'll call it here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the patch updates with all the information on the new cards coming out. Joe, thank you for taking the time today, and we'll talk to you soon for the rest of our episode. Have a good one.
See you guys.
Keep snapping.